Maybe a bit of wind noise here, but this is Wall Roman Town. This is just off the A5. I've come here for the afternoon to have a look around and see what I can see and see what I can learn. Yeah, so reconstruction there. Covered in flies, because it's bright, I suppose. Yeah, just another view. Sorry about any wind noise, but yeah. So I was over there a minute ago, but see here, there's like some fire pits or something. So maybe this is the bathhouse thing it was talking about. I didn't actually say on there, it just said, you know, the background's in the foreground with a courtyard. So I see there's more signs around the place, so I'll continue trying to find out what's going on. Lovely with the church in the background and everything. It's hard to think this is only half an hour away from home. Proper British countryside. The sign I've just read is confirmed. That's the hostel, and that's the baths, and this would have been a street. I know Little Seaton, I want to say. Little Catum was the name of the place, but yeah, so let's walk down the Roman street, shall we? It would have been, they reckon there might have been traders either side. You might have actually like a bit of a square sort of thing. So yes, we're now walking where Romans walked. I mean, that's kind of, that's one of the great things about doing this sort of thing, isn't it? Is you actually walk where those people want to walk themselves. In connection with the past, eh? Fun. Right, see what the next signpost says. Confirms this is the hostel, Mancio. Romans are people, they go to the house. What's Iant? But so it says the building was used in an official function to look after the horses and provide lodging and fresh horses as well for officials travelling on government business and accommodating important guests as well. So, you know, be rich traders and things, I suppose, and that we can actually go in there. But I'm going to continue down to the baths. I think I can sort of go. I can obviously get in somehow because there's signs in there, so I'll investigate that. I think it's over the map, perhaps there. What I'm looking at here is the exercise hall, which they said in Mediterranean climates would have been open air, but this would have been covered. They did know it had two central columns and simply painted walls. When they did the excavation, they found evidence of this. So yes, I did. So I just came down that bit there, then. Oh, it doesn't like focusing, does it? That bit there, then onto that bit, then here. So again, walking in the footsteps of the Romans, which is really rather awesome, really. So yeah, so here's the exercise hall. Sounds a lot like hard work to me. Ball games and all sorts of things. Yeah. It's amazing, isn't it? I see I'm going into the changing room next. I'll walk through the grass bit rather than walking on the cement. An unheated room. Probably a changing room that part of its life was formed to start into the bathing sequence. How incredible, look at that. So that presumably is some sort of hot room. As I say, I'm sure it's all the heat. The other side of this wall was where those little alcoves were. Well, they had scorching in them. Incredible. Obviously, I encourage you to come visit this. It's free to get in, so you know, if you're in the area, you come and have a look how the Romans lived. Again, you can see scorching on there. Well, you can't because I'm not pointing at it. But there we are. It looks like scorching, doesn't it, on the terracotta colour bit there. So again, could have been the heated rooms. So there we go. Heated rooms. So this is the heated rooms. Oh yeah, you can see some of the raised pillar bits in the distance there. tile columns below these two rooms have been covered over to protect from weathering. So they're below there then. But here's something like it, really, isn't it? The tile columns, those look like tiles. They would have been all heated up. Incredible. Such a privilege to be able to walk around something like this. Here I go into the hostel, is it the Mansion? I'll have to go and have a look now. What it's called. Try and get the right words. Mancio. The Mancio, right. So here we are. Going to pretend very dignitary walking up into this. Look at that. Incredible again. Ah, I see another sign over there, so we're going to have a look at that. It's very weird in this, how they see aeroplanes up in the sky, coming out in and out of Birmingham Airport, as well as Walsall in that direction. Used to go out to the Gulf from Walsall. The road I can see in the distance there, I'm familiar with. Did it a few times. Well, she wasn't quite from Walsall, just a village nearby, but yeah. The moon doesn't seem to know what time of day it is. Alright, so there's also a little bit of a ramp here. It says no climbing, but there's a sign here, and I don't know how else you'd get into this bit. So this is the courtyard. A formal meeting place. Pleasant area for visitors to entice people to mix and exchange news. There must be stables and kitchens to service the Mancio, and these may have been arranged woods behind you, of which no trace is visible. So I reckon it's all over there somewhere. Incredible, isn't it? It really is. Will people come and visit the ruins of our villages and towns and that in the future? That's a question, isn't it? It's not only the first time it's been asked either. This semicircular piece here. Incredible. Absolutely incredible. I'm sure some of the vehicles on the A5, you can see the A5 over there where the cars are going past. So that's the Watling Street there. Not the original though. The original comes much closer. It's the bit I came in on to get to the car parks, but yes. The original A5 is deviated from a few times. So yeah. So I suppose yes, quite convenient, isn't it? You come to stay here, then you've just come in off the road, you're dusty and dirty, and you can go into the baths and have a wash, relax, and then come and get a good night's sleep and everything, a fresh horse, and be on your way again tomorrow. That's a serious wall, isn't it? Now it says there was a fort originally built by the 14th Legion up on the hill beyond the church, where the church is today. And yeah, that's in itself quite interesting, because it says that the fort was not really that much used. After a while, they replaced them to fill smaller forts, which in themselves were abandoned. But by that time, this settlement had grown. Obviously, there's just two buildings on the settlement. They found it extended over that way, and when they built the M6 toll road, which is just over the way over there, they found human remains and all sorts. So yes, it was quite a town. It said it was a town. So let's just walk around this bit a little bit. I'm conscious of the time. It closes at 4, and I'd rather like to try the calf. But we can always come back. That's the beauty of these places. Always come back. How wonderful is that? Yeah, you can see this was a 2-storey building, they reckon. So yeah, with the thickness of the walls and everything, 2 stories. You'd have seen for quite some distance all round. So obviously, with the fort being even further up the hill, you see why they built it here. And I love this. Just like, oh, hang on, I need some stones just to fill gaps. You know, it's not all perfect cut, you know, not nice big pieces like that one. It's some of them are smaller, and you got some really tiny ones there embedded in the works. But yeah, wonderful. Well, I'll go and see what the last board says, both you with me, hand in hand. But I hope you've enjoyed that sort of quick look around. I'm going to go and try and find the visitor centre. See about that drinking piece of cake. Hopefully they've got cake. You'd hope they have cake. Let's see what the last sign says. Ooh, bit of uphill there. And look, there we are, the Roman town. Reconstruction shows the towns. It might have looked towards the end of the 2nd century AD before the Mancio was destroyed by a fire. So this burnt down. The space between the bathhouse and the Mancio is a street that runs out to join Watling Street, the main road from London to the city of Wroxeter, Viroconium, near present-day Shrewsbury. At its height, the straggling Roman town spread over a mile along the Watling Street. By 4th century, however, it had contracted to a small defended area. Leicester-Seaton seems to have declined rapidly after this period, and the focus of the settlement shifted to Lichfield. So there we are. A sad end. But probably not uncommon in its time. Probably a much more gentle decline than some of the brutal declines you could have had for a settlement in that era. But yeah, incredible. Right, well, I hope you enjoyed that. I'm going to go and find a cup of tea and a piece of cake. Or coffee. I don't know. See what I feel like when I get there. Anyway, take care all. Bye. Alright, there's more. So, I'm doing the Roman walk now. I've done the new museum. There'll be some pictures at the end from the museum. But as again, I do really encourage you to come and visit for yourself. There's not many things you can do for free in this world. That's a lovely old tree over there, isn't it, in distance? But yes, so come and enjoy it. I don't know how much I'm going to be able to film with this, because obviously behind those people's houses, well, I've not gone to turn around too far, but you can see there's the Mancio. And there's the Baths, Leicester-Seaton. We are in Roman Leicester-Seaton still. Lucky child in the museum, getting to do a project on the Romans twice. Last year and to this year as well. I miss those days. Say you miss school. Well, you miss school when you're older. People said to me about secondary school. Like, no, I miss junior school. That was the most fun. That was the best. Some of the best teachers I had. And yeah, it's just some of the best times. So here we are, going towards the church now, with all the bugs. Keep my mouth closed, eh? I can see milepost mark 2. Well, milepost, but waypoint 2. I was beginning to question if I'd come the right way, but look at that. Not found me a cup of tea and piece of cake yet, but hey. So, the Wall Heritage Walk. Here we are, minding the holly. Church. Okay, so probably the vicarage next to me here, so I might have to stop filming in a second. So let's have a look at the back side of the church on it. Yeah, I'm going to have to stop filming in a second because we're going into a residential area again, so I'll do the bits we can. There we are, St John the Baptist Wall. Ho ho. Huh, I wonder if I can get it, how I get in. I think I need to go and find these. Now, there's a few white graves here, as you can see, white stone. But the Commonwealth War graves, they really do stand out. And right there, you can see it. So we'll go and have a look, see who is remembered here. There's a crest on that one, I might go and look at that one as well. That's an incredibly fancy one there, isn't it? Now you want it from 1825. All the decoration on that, incredible. Well, here we are at the grave of F.N. Bower, Royal Air Force. Unfortunately, 25th. Can't see the year on that one, I'm afraid. Now, an important thing to note is if you see one in this sort of case, don't be tempted to try and clean it. We're not allowed to touch them. It's only the commission and its volunteers that are allowed to touch them. So you just report it. If you see one like this, you report it to them and say, look, it's in a bit of a state. But yeah, what a place to be buried. We got over the Roman settlement down there. Thank you for your service, sir. In proud and loving memory of our only son. I'll see if I can try and get some relief on it and see if I can find the date out. No, it was no good, I couldn't see a date on that one. However, someone died in 1917. That's not a war grave, that one. So, his beloved wife, aged 78 years, in 1933. But there is another one here. It's always hard to know where to walk. You try and walk not onto the graves themselves, but just. This is Great War, West Yorkshire. Private B. Elson, West Yorkshire Regiment, 22nd of January 1918, aged 21. There's some pictures down here. B. Elson, there he is. Presumably, the other two relatives who are buried on the Western Front somewhere, or wherever they were, whether they fell. But yeah. It looks like a more modern one down there as we go down. Yeah, so those are the only two in here. But yeah, it was always worth a stop to look. Right, I'll go back onto the wall. Lovely view of the church again. So here is Wall Hall. So I'll stop here because the bluebells are out. First one's finished yet, so you can all watch me get run over now as we go down this road. I think this is the way. The signs, that number 2 was the last one I saw. If not, I'll just retrace my steps, eh? Yes, some people can do that, so I'll stop filming. We're by the pub. I think I turn right here to go down the hill. You see the A5 there. Cross over. So I can get onto the footpath that I see here. There we are. Yes, so the A5 here. This possibly is the original A5 I'm on now. Yeah. So we're a bit further down the road from the pub, but I have just established this is the original A5 here, the Watling Street here. So our Roman travellers approaching the bathhouse and the Mancio would have come up here when they're coming from London. Remember, the railways weren't invented yet, so you're going up the country as you go north, rather than they're all up trains into London. I'm still not seeing another one of the signs here, but obviously there's people's houses there, so I'll try and point you more this way, where it's fields, because it's that hedge there, it's just the other side of there. It's where the ruins are. I'll just stand here, there's a tractor coming, so I might have to make it a bit further up before it gets here. We're going to this little, like a little jitty thing here, little cover. But yeah, you see the church where I was. Yeah.